while it's not officially recognized as an eating disorder on its own, I wonder why, if unchecked can snowball into one. All the therapists are like, yes, snowball. Yes, get the script pad ready. Let's get into this one. We got a she, her on our hands. We got a pronoun. We got some pronouns. From Kira Onisko. We got a caption also. If you're worrying about the sugar content in your condiments, could be a sign that your healthy lifestyle change is no longer healthy.
Matt Damon.
So in other words, don't fear the sugar in your condiments. Have you ever seen how much sugar they put in ketchup? You ever seen the sugar content in just your toppings? Check out ranch dressing. Check out any of these fucking things. I saved the package, and I think I probably threw it out and forgot that I did. So we're trying to put up a fence in the backyard, but sometimes garbage blows into the backyard, which pisses me off. And there was this package of like salted, what was it? Salted cashews or something like that. It was like, one of those little thin packages that you would get at a vending machine. So, it's like, nuts, cashews. Not a fan. You look on the back and there's like tons of salt. Okay. And there's vegetable oil all over it. So they roast it in vegetable oil and you wonder why, people order these things or get these things from vending machines. Like, oh man, I'm eating cashews. I'm eating some nuts. They're healthy for me. And they're just sucking down tons of this low quality sodium as well as vegetable oil because they make it taste good. Have you ever had raw cashews? They're disgusting. Raw nuts are nasty. They're fucking gross. They taste like shit. That's why they roast them in all these oils and put salt all over them to make them palatable. So yeah, I mean, in the condiments itself, there's tons of sugar. So we have a long caption to try to justify the stupidity. Kira Onisko. Is it a healthy lifestyle or is it orthorexia? We've talked about orthorexia before. A lot of it is just nonsensical diagnosis, so therapists can justify billing more hours. The term orthorexia, known as obsession with eating healthy food to the extent that it damages your well-being. Agreed. It shouldn't damage your well-being. So in other words, you're not... Here's the problem. If you have an obsession with eating healthy food and it's damaging your well-being, then you're not eating healthy. Let's fucking go. You're not eating healthy. If it's damaging your well-being, you're not doing it right. Okay? So it's not really eating healthy. So we're talking about people that are afraid to put salt on their food, that are eating bland chicken breast and plain broccoli. Like, that's not healthy food. So it was coined in the late 90s, and while it's not officially recognized as an eating disorder on its own, I wonder why, if unchecked can snowball into one. All the therapists are like, yes, snowball. Yes, get the script pad ready. Here are some warning signs of orthorexia to look out for. Compulsive checking of ingredient lists and nutritional labels. Well, if you're eating quality food, you really often don't have ingredient lists. So if you get a steak, it's like, hey, guess what's in that steak? Guess what's in that banana? Banana. You don't have ingredient lists. So that's not, checking ingredient lists is not a problem. If you're looking for certain things, most people think of that as obsessive because they're fine outsourcing their health to the government. Tell me, daddy, what to eat. Yeah, look at ingredient lists. Look at it. Most of the time, it's going to have garbage. Most of the time, if it has an ingredient list, there's going to be something shitty in there. Far more than not. Another one, an increase in concern about the health of ingredients. Yeah, that's a warning sign. An increase in concern about the health of ingredients. What a warning sign. What a horrible disease. Oh man, what an eating disorder. You're concerned about the health of the ingredients. Oh my goodness. You're concerned about what's going in your face. What an eating disorder. Orthorexia makes me laugh in many cases. I know the type of person that they're referring to, but most people just use this and they don't understand what it is. Most of these things are not a bad thing. Most people need more of this. Okay. Like if you're a neurotic person, that's not good no matter what you're eating. All right. Cutting out an increasing number of food groups, all sugar, all carbs, all dairy, all meat, all animal products. I agree. You shouldn't be cutting out all meat or all animal products or all dairy in many cases. I don't eat a number of food groups. I don't have orthorexia. I just have intelligence. There's a big difference. Another one, an inability to eat anything but a narrow group of foods that are deemed healthy or pure. An inability to eat anything. Well, that's something else. Like if it's texture, if you have these other, a lot of times like autistic kids or people have issues with that. Unusual interest in the health of what others are eating. So am I orthorexic? Because I have an unusual interest in the health. And these are vague terms. What does health mean? True. It's like, what does it, you have to define what you think of health, because what I think is healthy is not what most people think is healthy. They think of it as extreme, unusual interest. Yeah, I have interest in nasty, unhealthy people eating nasty shit that's like just corrupting our society more and more and leading to more mental disorders and despair and medical complications. And yeah, I don't think it's unusual. I think more people should have it. But at the same time, I always say in my videos, I'm going to sleep just fine at night. If you eat tacos and I'm like, hey, you shouldn't be eating pizza. And you're like, oh, I'm going to eat pizza anyway. I'm going to show Papa Swolio. It's not my life. Like I'm going to sleep just fine if you stuff your face with garbage. It's not my body that's suffering. Next one, spending hours per day thinking about what food might be served at upcoming events. Spending hours per day. If I'm going somewhere, I'll either fast or I'll eat first or I'll bring my food. It's not complicated. So I'm just saying in general, like, you probably should. Like, this can be looked at as, oh my God, spending hours per day. If you're obsessing over anything, it's not good. But if you're just planning in advance, it's planning in advance. All right. Showing high levels of distress when, quote, safe or healthy foods aren't available. Yeah, you're talking about someone who's just not mentally stable. So, yeah, it's just a vague diagnosis, so you can blanket this over more people. Obsessive following of food and healthy lifestyle blogs on Twitter and Instagram. Okay. Last one, body image concerns may or may not be present. So super fucking vague. Super vague what defines orthorexia. It's kind of like, if you pay attention to your health a little bit too much based on someone else's standards. Bottom line, let me see here. Where is it? Bottom line, this part here. It comes back to the top. Obsession with healthy eating to the extent it damages your well-being. But that's just kind of silly. So an obsession, in other words, it's not healthy eating. You're probably OCD, you're obsessive compulsive, and you've locked on to this irrational approach to eating, which is not healthy in itself. I wouldn't necessarily call that, I think it's a stretch calling it something like orthorexia, because you can get obsessed with any different thing. Bottom line, if it's negatively affecting your life, it's not a good thing. But you also have to be the judge of that. So one person's obsession might look like, oh my God, that's way too much, when it's actually someone crushing it and getting it done. So obviously, if it's a negative thing, but if it's a negative thing, it's a negative thing. But most of the time, people call orthorexia wanting to eat good food and not eating garbage food. And most of the things you should be cutting out. You shouldn't be eating most of these things. Oh my God, you're orthorexic. I call Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Silly, silly goose. Silly, silly goose. Cut out all animal products. Go plant-based for the environment. Save the environment. Save the earth. Eat some more soy.
We stay woke, but y'all sleep. Rilla mo, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real freak. New throne for the new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the cheat code. I said stay woke. We in Rilla mo. I said stay woke. Rilla mo. Stay woke. Rilla mo. I said stay woke. Rilla mo. Stay woke. Rilla mo. I said stay woke. Rilla mo. Stay woke. Rilla mo. I said stay woke. Rilla mo. Stay woke. Hey, y'all some jokers, y'all a bunch of clowns. You will not get a laugh out of me. You can talk, but you can't denounce. I live a different theology. Why I transferred to a new account? You just fucked over a prodigy. Posted up with a rented crown. You are the king of apology. You about to see a new side of me. I hope you know. We stand up and watch that